Hello my dear friends, welcome back to another Star Wars video. Oh my goodness. Star Wars Celebration in Japan has just begun, and we had some massive Star Wars movie updates. I'm here to give you the lowdown. It was meant to just be for the Mandalorian and Grogu, but Kathleen Kennedy, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau were not alone, and we were given a massive information drop, a new movie title, release dates, filming updates, and some new stills. This is going to be a fun one guys, make sure to hit the big subscribe button if you've not done so. This is a strange time for me to be making a video. It's 3 in the morning here in the UK, but the news is so big, I just couldn't wait. So no more jibber jabber, let's dive straight in. So we'll go in the order of the announcements. Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni started out on stage talking about the exciting future Star Wars has on the big screen. Disney Plus was an interesting time period and there is still going to be other shows, but Star Wars is navigating back to the cinema. Now on the subject of TV shows, Dave Filoni says Ahsoka Season 2 is going to begin filming when he returns from Japan. Now I don't fully believe him, I think he means resumes. I've heard from my sources that some primary photography has already begun, but probably not the bulk of it. And then Dave Filoni spoke about movies, and he says Lucasfilm has, quote, crazy ideas for more things to come, so not just what was announced. And then, out of the blue, Shawn Levy was introduced onto the stage, and what a treat. We have a movie title, a release date, a casting update, and a setting for when this takes place in the timeline. The movie is called Star Wars Starfighter. It's set 5 years after the rise of Skywalker, but it's not part of a trilogy, it's its own thing. And Ryan Gosling is now confirmed. He was a secret guest. He came on stage, hugged everyone, he was so excited, and even shared how much of a Star Wars fan he's been since he was a kid. And we know there are going to be Force users. The hum of a lightsaber could be heard when the title card was shown. Star Wars Starfighter is going to start filming this coming fall, for a May 2027 release date. So I think they're going back to the model of one movie a year. The Mandalorian and Grogu, May 22nd, 2026, and a year later in May 2027, Star Wars Starfighter. And there have been some big casting updates that we've spoken about. And yesterday we found out Mikey Madison turned down a role in the movie. She wanted to be the lead, and Lucasfilm said no. Fans have had mixed opinions about this, some expressing that she dodged a bullet, others saying that it's a missed opportunity, but there you go. Ryan Gosling now confirmed, Shawn Levy was there, it's all up and running, they're getting ready to film, and this is set after episode 9. But it's not episode 10, and it doesn't necessarily connect to the Rey movie. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm pretty blown away by this. I'll probably make a separate video dedicated to each of these different news updates, but with this one the possibilities are endless. Having the level of talent and caliber of Ryan Gosling is so exciting, but also how little we know about the project. I have a million theories, a million different thoughts going through my head. I'm just excited to be excited about this. This seems like a movie that's genuinely gonna happen. Given Lucasfilm's recent track record with cancellations, delays, overpromise and overhype, this seems like a movie they're actually going to make after The Mandalorian and Grogu. But now we can say the rumours were true. Ryan Gosling is coming to a galaxy far, far away. So now onto the big one, The Mandalorian and Grogu. We have a new logo for it. I know the title isn't really too great, it's a bit mouthy, it's a bit long, it's a bit too on the nose, a bit unoriginal, but the logo looks better. The thicker, bolder text, the green, I love it. Jon Favreau then came on stage and shared his hype. And also guys, I think the logo looks amazing in Japanese. And as Dave Filoni said on stage, the Star Wars universe owes so much to Japanese culture. Star Wars at its roots, George Lucas was inspired by Akira Kurosawa, so it was great to see them pay homage. But onto The Mandalorian and Grogu itself. It's taking a lot of inspiration from the original trilogy. There are rumours we're going to see Hoth. And for this movie, they built fully functional AT-ATs. They showed behind-the-scenes photos of TIE fighter pilots, snowtroopers. It looks amazing. But now for the big one. The one I couldn't wait to fangirl over is a new picture of Zeb Orrelios next to Mando, Grogu, and R5-D4, a Delphi base from Season 3. Oh my goodness, I'm just taking this all in. We also have a new still of the Ansellan droid smiths. They look so adorable. They're in Grogu's pram. But the highlight, the biggest highlight, Pedro Pascal and Sigourney Weaver brought on stage. Pedro, just as he did in the first 2 seasons, is going to play Din Djarin helmetless. Oh yes, helmetless Din Djarin, more of him to come. And Sigourney Weaver, as the rumour suggested, is on the side of the New Republic. And we see photos of the absolute legend in her Rebel flight suit. We're talking about Ellen Ripley coming to the Star Wars universe. She was so excited. And tomorrow, both her and Pedro Pascal are going to be on Good Morning America. The marketing for the movie has already begun, 1 year out. Then there were some fun moments on stage between Jon Favreau, Pedro, and the Grogu puppet. We also got a flashy logo reveal. And then the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer was shown. Here is the footage description. Sigourney Weaver hires Din Djarin for a job. Din takes down a ton of snowtroopers in a one-take sequence inside an AT-AT Walker. They blow it up on the side of a mountain on a snowy planet. And here's a big one. Grogu swims. Our little green friend swims. And he uses the Force to destroy a mouse droid. At the end of the trailer, we got our first glimpse at live-action Rota the Hutt, with his arms raised up in a gladiator arena. They're really going all out. And this movie really sounds like a mix of serious and comical. In a movie with so many Star Wars aliens, I guess this makes sense, but Rota the Hutt is now confirmed. No longer just a rumor, they fully CG'd him, and it's so crazy to see him all grown up. I was a big fan of the Clone Wars series and the Clone Wars movie, and so Stinky is now a muscular dude bro, and he's being played by Jeremy Allen White from The Bear. And then, more Star Wars news came. Kathleen Kennedy confirmed that Star Wars films directed by James Mangold, Sharmina Bay-Chinoy, Taika Waititi, and the trilogy by Simon Kinberg are still in active development. But the spotlight was on The Mandalorian and Grogu and Star Wars Starfighter. I understand Star Wars is not in a perfect place. There are doubts, there are fears, there are worries about what these movies are going to do, but it's really good to be hyped on this level. It's great to see Star Wars in this mainstream place again. Not just niche on Disney+, but for the wider general audience, many of whom have been out of the loop since episode 9. And there's a great appeal to a lot of this. Ryan Gosling definitely draws in an audience all unto himself, and the great thing about Rota is that even if you've never seen the Clone Wars, you know he's Jabba the Hutt's son. The introduction for such a character, just giving his backstory and a bit of exposition, should in theory be very straightforward. Here's the thing, they'd been saying for weeks we're not going to get much at Celebration, and I understand there is something frustrating about not getting a lot of this publicly, having to see screenshots from mobile phones, but it's just a matter of time until this stuff is public. And we're not talking about the distant future, we're talking about May 2026. And the marketing for movies is way more widespread than a Disney Plus show. So we can expect, I think, a Mandalorian and Grogu trailer publicly very soon. I don't know if it's going to be the right Star Wars movie to kick things off with. Maybe Star Wars Starfighter was the better option, but I'm certainly more encouraged than I was before this came out. And you might say, Meg, you're jumping the gun, temper your expectations, all of those kinds of things. But you know what, guys? Having something to be excited about, sink our teeth into, even if it's not what we expect, just having the prospect of Mando returning to some kind of greatness is a pretty exciting thing. And if nothing else, the visuals look so much better than The Mandalorian Season 3. TV and movies are very different, but there were some rumors suggesting The Mandalorian and Grogu is a glorified episode, but for the big screen. So that is the lowdown, guys. There is more to come, more tomorrow. Look out for more videos from Star Wars Celebration. I'm excited, but what do you think? I want to know your thoughts. Let's get a fun conversation going down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, check me out on socials. The link to my Patreon is down below for more content, and I'll see you in the next one. May the Force be with you, always.